Hey there, Wixman Ray here. Also call myself Weatherman Ray. Hey, we're almost at another end of the week here, end of the work week. April 16th, 2026, man. April's flying by. Before you know it, it'll be hot and muggy if you live where it's muggy or hot and dry, one of the two. Um, for most of the U.S. anyways. Hey, bringing you another weather update here. We got some thunderstorms going on. And we'll talk about those after we talk about what's going on out west. So we got a cold air mass dipping down across the western part of the United States. We've got a bunch of showers. Some of these are snow showers. Temperatures out here are in the 30s and 40s. Even in the lower elevations, we're like Salt Lake City and Elko, Nevada, and Boise, Idaho. Yeah, where all the people live up here in this part of the West. Pretty nice out in California, although they're probably cooling off a little bit too. But yeah, so we got some showers and some rain and snow going on out here, even probably up into Montana and Wyoming and Utah. We got some clouds moving through the Rockies out here. This might be some thunderstorms going on out here. I'm not 100% on that, so don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I will take a look. I'm just judging this off of the satellite right now. I haven't even looked at the radar out in that part of the country. And then we got some activity going on up here in Montana and Wyoming. So looks like a couple thunderstorms popping up across West Texas there. So we'll take a look at those. Those are real isolated out there. We got this little cluster of storms. They were in Missouri. That stuff in Missouri's pretty much fading out. There might be a few showers left, but you can tell as the cloud tops were colder, they're warming. So when they warm, that's a good sign that storms are weakening. Out here, they're maintaining pretty well. We got some thunderstorms across southern Illinois, moving into southern Indiana, parts of Kentucky over here, and not probably near the Paducah area. We'll take a look, and in parts of western Kentucky, and a little bit up into Tennessee in the northwestern side. This is a front, so we got a few thunderstorms out here in eastern Tennessee, kind of button up near the Appalachians and kind of hit and miss showers and thunderstorms going all the way up into Pennsylvania and West Virginia. Even a little bit behind it back in Michigan there, maybe a few showers. But there's some thunderstorms going on across New York, back up into New Hampshire and Vermont and out near parts of the Northeast here. So yeah, so this cold front's well, let me correct myself. This really isn't a cold front. It's more of a trough, a surface trough. Um, there's probably some frontal characteristics farther north, but yeah, we got thunderstorms going on up there with that upper level. We got an upper level disturbance. That's really what's driving that. So that's what's going on our satellite. Yeah. Elsewhere, we got a few clouds. Looks like moving across Florida. Probably nothing, no showers though, but pretty quiet across the southeast, all through the south until you get to West Texas there, and out along California, and you can see all that snow. I mean that's where the mountains are there, so they got some snow up in the higher mountains there in Oregon and Washington there from this last storm. But yeah, even some snow still, or at least colder temperatures out over the Sierras there. Um, yeah. So that's what's going on there. In fact, we'll look at our day cloud phase. That'll give us an idea. Yeah, there's some lower clouds button up against there, but I'm sure there's still some snow up in the mountains. You can see a little bit of green in there on the Sierras. It's really hard to tell. We got the clouds kind of obscuring it, but there's definitely snow up on the mountains there because this brought in a lot of moisture, and so the mountains got some snow. All right, so here's our surface odds. We'll start out west. Like I said, there's some snow showers going across Boise. They're in the low 40s, 36 in Pocatello. So a lot of this stuff's probably snow showers. even when it's in the low 40s, because it's a very cold air mass above, you'll tend to get a lot more snow showers. Although it won't really accumulate much, really, unless you're, up in the mountains or something. Looks like across northern Nevada, a little bit of the light snow showers. Looks like some stuff out to the east of Salt Lake City over the mountains out there mostly. Um, yeah, and then we got some, looks like some snow going on out in Wyoming. Um, maybe, yeah, looks like Rock Springs has got some snow, Sheridan. Yeah, so there's Casper's got some, looks like mixed precip. Their temperature's at 36, but yeah, and same thing out here. There's some 20s up there in Cut Bank, Montana, but mostly 30s out here. And so got some snow going on out here in places, mostly snow showers for the most part. Yeah, and like I said, in the 30s out here in northern Nevada and Salt Lake City is 37. Down in Vegas it's 78, so it's a nice day down there. They may start to cool a little bit because up north of them it's in the 50s. So that colder air might filter in towards them. Yeah, we got it pretty warm out in these valleys of Central California. Some 80s farther south and 70s, even 60s up as we get up farther north, and then way up north we're in the 40s and 50s. So there's definitely some cold air moving down through parts of California, although they'll kind of get spared the brunt of the cold air. 87 in Phoenix, so we got some 80s and 90s out here in the desert. Um, Pretty nice. Oh, I forgot to mention, there's a little bit of wind too across Nevada associated with this whole system. There's some areas of wind, 30 to 40 mile an hour winds out through parts of Utah, even up into Colorado. I see some gusts up near 50 there. That's Craig, I think. Yeah, so little town up there in northern Colorado. But yeah, so it's a little bit of gusty winds out there. So it's a little bit windy out there and raw and cold for April 16th for y'all. But nice out here in New Mexico, 82 in El Paso, 75 in Albuquerque. Farmington, 66, if you guys know where Farmington is. Amarillo's 80. Yeah, so here's those isolated thunderstorms out in far west Texas, where there's not a lot of people living, and then there's a couple there that look like they're dying down. They got one severe warning on this one down there, just to the north of, that's in Terrell County, Dryden. I guess that's not too far from where, oh no, I think the Big Bend's down here, but anyways, yeah, severe storm there. Elsewhere in Texas, warm in the 80s. Same in Oklahoma City, all through the south, 70s, upper 70s to 80s. It is about 7:15 Central Time, so the sun's setting on the east, 8:15 out there. It's 5:15 out on the west coast, so they were still in the heat of the day out there out in Phoenix and Las Vegas and that kind of stuff. Yeah, so pretty quiet across the south here. As we move northward, yeah, you see a couple storms that might still be producing some lightning up there in Missouri. A couple storms, but looks like down here in the boot of Missouri, some rough and tumble storms. A severe warning down there near Kennett Airport. I have no idea where that's at. There's not, there's not a whole lot down here, but people do live down there. So, yeah, so we got some severe storms. Got some strong storms across northwest Tennessee. It looks like a severe warning over here, just to the west, kind of west northwest of Nashville. So keep an eye on that if you live in Nashville. Just went through Fort Campbell, Kentucky. That's actually on the border. You see there, they had that storm go through there with some gusty winds, and looks like they're getting some heavy rain behind it. Yeah, so this got a severe warning up there to the east of Fort Campbell. Up, what's that? Bowling Green? Yeah, Bowling Green, Kentucky. So up in those parts. Otherwise, just a few isolated. Looks like a line of storms and showers out across eastern Tennessee, extending up through parts of Virginia, southwest Virginia there, and up through West Virginia. Nothing severe out of all that, just some showers and thunderstorms. And that kind of goes for Pennsylvania. Gets a little more active, at least a little more rain and showers, storms across New York. Got a couple severe warnings out here near Rome, and that's Rome, right? Yeah, Griffiths. They used to be an Air Force base many, many moons ago. It looks like we have some storms rolling through Syracuse, New York, and up across the north near in the Adirondacks, and then some storms up here in North New Hampshire, I should say, northern part, and parts in Vermont, and then clipping parts of Maine there. Might get a little bit of thunder out here in Maine. Most of that'll just be rain. A little chilly still in the 40s out there. Yeah, mostly 40s out through there, but yeah, out ahead of this front and inland at 70s and 80s until you get out on Long Island, you're getting all that cold air, so it's 50s and 60s because of the cold temperatures. The Gulf Stream's kind of farther out this way, I believe, as you get this part of the neck of the woods. So otherwise, that's about it. Oh yeah, last but not least, we got some storms going through the Detroit area. Looks like they're moving out over Lake Erie, a little bit over Ohio, a couple thunderstorms and showers, nothing severe, and also some storms up in the kind of central part, I guess you would call it, Michigan. Showers, maybe a few strikes of lightning with that, and that's about it. Yeah, looks like yeah, so pretty warm across the plains until North Dakota's got some 50s, 30s out here on the western side. Getting some of that effects from that next system coming out. So, yeah, so that's what's going on at the surface. Here's our model depiction. This is through about midnight tonight, Central Time, anyways. 1 o'clock on the East Coast and about 10 o'clock out on the West Coast. So that's what this goes through. So we're going to see that ongoing showers and thunderstorms across the Northeast, extending down through the Appalachians. Those same general areas, just pushing east through Virginia and a little bit into North Carolina. This stuff may be ongoing across Kentucky and Tennessee, but if that holds together tonight, and then we got this activity back here that we saw that'll linger. So, and then there's kind of painting a few things out here in Missouri and Oklahoma. We got this stuff in West Texas. We'll see if that materializes. Not all the models are agreeing with that, but hey, it could happen. So there's the potential. But yeah, what we're seeing tonight, that low is moving out of the Rockies and developing, and we're going to start see some snow developing out in Dakotas. Probably just for a brief amount of time, several hours maybe. But that's going to quickly end, I think. And it'll extend back into Utah, parts of Colorado. Still some snow showers back here, but a lot of it's going to be going to bed, except for maybe in the high elevations out farther north here in Idaho and Montana and those parts. So as we go through the morning, yeah, so like I said, this stuff may go a little longer, but it's going to press east. So we're going to get some snow out through parts of the Dakotas, up into Canada. But then it looks like by tomorrow afternoon, evening, most of it's just going to be confined up here. There's still going to be some lingering snow across Montana, parts of Idaho, Wyoming, and Colorado tomorrow. It'll probably die off in Utah in the morning. And then that low pressure develops and we start seeing some pretty gusty winds. Although they're not quite as strong, we still might see some pretty strong winds though across the plains, even down into parts of West Texas. So that could pick up some dust out here and cause some problems. Hopefully there's no fires that are going to be going on, because I know they've had some fires out there earlier this year. But yeah, the big story is by afternoon and evening, we got thunderstorms will probably start firing from Wisconsin down through Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, maybe even down to Oklahoma, maybe a couple down in Texas too. There could be some stuff out ahead of it, but this will probably be the rough and tumble severe stuff right along this front. And as we go through the night, it'll push, through Wisconsin and Illinois and Indiana, parts of Missouri. Probably by tomorrow evening, it'll be through the Kansas City area, but there'll still be some lingering stuff back here into Oklahoma and Missouri, southeast Kansas, even into Texas. So severe threat. By the morning, it looks like there'll be some ongoing storms, although there could be a couple severe overnight going on, but they tend to kind of quiet down as you go towards morning. But with a strong system, there could be a few severe storms still going overnight through the morning, and that'll move into Indiana, parts of Kentucky again, Arkansas, parts of eastern Tennessee, and back into Ohio and Michigan. So that'll be towards tonight, or not tonight, Friday night into Saturday morning. So as we're going to Saturday afternoon, we're going to see this front kind of extending from, say, um, western New York through Pennsylvania and down through Ohio Valley area into Kentucky, Tennessee, through parts of the South down here, northern Mississippi, starting to hit Louisiana. So there'll be showers and thunderstorms all along here. It looks like there's a threat of severe, especially in the northern portion. And we'll take a look at the convective outlook. This should be our last day where we're thinking, worrying about severe thunderstorms. So, but these will be ongoing through the night as that front pushes across New York and towards the mid-Atlantic by Sunday morning. So there could be some ongoing storms in the morning, Sunday morning, but these are going to die out and be gone by the afternoon. There'll be some lingering rain, so that front, the thunderstorms may be going on in the morning if there's a few, but then behind it we have some cold air, so it looks like maybe a mix of rain and snow in parts of the Northeast as we got the cold air kind of filtering down across the northern plains, Midwest, and out through the Great Lakes, and that'll even cool down parts of the Mid-Atlantic here as we go into late in the day on Sunday, or through the day on Sunday into Monday. So a little bit cooler across this area, but it won't last long. So that'll be out to sea by Sunday afternoon, and then we might have a few showers across Florida as we go into Monday, and maybe it looks like some rain across Texas as we get another disturbance in the upper levels on Monday. This low out off the Pacific coast that I mentioned yesterday kind of teases the coast, and it looks like on Monday during the morning time it'll come into parts of California, maybe Oregon, bringing a little bit of rain, but it looks like it's weakening. So we'll have to monitor that. It looks like it's trying to come in as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. So we'll keep an eye on that, but we're not going to go that far out. But yeah, the story is it will get colder out in the east. I forgot to look at the temperatures, but I think I got those up here. Let's see if we can update these really quick for you and just show you the temperatures. So yeah, you can see. So that's the max temperatures today. So this is for Friday. So yeah, it's still a little cool across the west, but it's starting to rebound pretty quick back here where the system's moved away. So we got 60s and 70s. There's that colder air. See some 30s and 40s and 50s up here. And this is Friday, the max temperatures. If you go into Saturday, there you go. There's that cold air, 30s and 40s and 50s through that general area. It's going to warm back up back here. As you go on to Sunday, yeah, your cool air is up in the northeast, and it starts to cool down in parts of the mid-Atlantic, and this is Monday. Yeah, so, they don't really cool down a lot, but the cold air is still back up in here in the northeastern parts of the Great Lake as we go into Monday. And then everything starts to rebound on Monday, that warm spring sun. Even up in the northeast, it starts to slowly warm back up. And that's on Tuesday. That's as far as we'll go. But yeah, it looks like another cool trend next week up out west. So got another cold front out there. All right, well, that's all I've got for tonight. I appreciate all you 500,000 subscribers. Well, I got 50. Hey, that's good. I didn't expect to get 50 this quick, but hey, love y'all. As a friend, whatever. Tell your friends, your family, tell your kids if they want to learn about weather. Hey, I try to teach it too. This could be their meteorology 101. They don't want to go take the class. But if they're interested in weather or want to do this as a career, go for it, man. It's a kids love this stuff sometimes. Some kids do. So, anyways, you have a great night, and we'll try to bring you. I don't know if we'll try to get a video. It might be late tomorrow night, but you guys have a great night. Wixman Ray out.